Hey guys, so I'm about to go watch Superman. I am so excited to go watch this movie. And why not we just get straight into my first reactions right now. Oh boy. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Today, we got a big boy. In anticipation of the summer, you might say. Superman. There's some people hating on this movie. And some people are pretty disappointed. Others think this is the best movie of the year. But what does Sypnotic Void think of this movie? If you could tell by my face. Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
I absolutely love the movie. It was a fantastic movie. What James Gunn, well done on making a Superman movie that you didn't even want to make at one point. I think you did an excellent job telling a story about a superhuman who understands that he's human and knows that he can do just about anything that anybody else can do and more, and still knows the pain and suffering that goes on in a human's life. I think that is such a well done concept of Superman that we've never seen before, and I absolutely loved it. Before we get into this review, there's going to be major spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen the movie, I highly suggest that you guys go out, click off this video, go and see it, and then come back to this review. Let's get back to the video. But let's start off with the positives. The actors in this movie play their roles, and they play them well. They do their due diligence to these characters, and I absolutely loved it. David Corenswet is probably my Superman after Christopher Reeves. Oh my goodness. He did such a fantastic job portraying this like punk rockish Superman that is vulnerable, that is getting his butt kicked. I mean, and he's dealing with all of these things that are going around in the world where he is being alienized. He's about to be put into prison. He's probably about to die too. And it is just such a good representation of Superman. Absolutely fantastic. I think he's going to be a great addition to the DC universe. And David Corenswet, job well done. Thank you for portraying this Superman. Absolutely fantastic. And the villain of this movie, David Holt. Hey guys, so while I'm editing my review, I noticed that I made a slight typo in the name of the villain. It is not David Holt. I'm an idiot. It is Nicholas Holt. So just keep that in mind. I'm probably going to put Nicholas Holt over everything that I say now. So just deal with that. My bad. I believe that's how you say his name.
You stupid.
Absolute fantastic job. Him playing Lex Luthor is a dream come true. He absolutely played this character so well. The way that he just envies Superman of just like, yeah, I know that he's doing good in this town, but he's an alien. We do not accept these people, and we need him eliminated immediately. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to eliminate him. And I think that is such a fantastic job. The way that he delivered his lines, he stole the show every time that he was on the screen. Absolutely fantastic from him. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, absolutely another great casting as well. The guy that played Mr. Terrific, I haven't seen him in a lot of movies, or I just didn't recognize him. He did a fantastic job. I feel like he could have been, more humorous and a little more funny. But all in all, just everybody was amazing. Hawk Girl, we could have done without her. I think we could have set up her character differently. That's one of my complaints. But we'll get into that later. Just an all-around applause from these characters. Lois Lane, I haven't talked about her. Oh my goodness. Rachel, you do a fantastic job in this movie, and I am so thankful that you played Lois Lane. Oh my goodness. She plays this reporter that is non-biased. And we see that in the first, I think it's 30 minutes of the movie, where Clark Kent and Lois Lane are hanging out. and they're making out and whatnot because I believe it's their uh anniversary. I think it's a 3 month anniversary, something like that. Um, and she's like, "Hey, Clark, why are you just talking yourself up as Superman?" And he's like, "Well, I know my questions and I can answer them and I can make it seem real." And they're talking on one on one in this review, and she's asking him like, "Did you talk with the president of this Moravian government?" And he said, "Yeah, I took him out to the desert and I had a little chit chat with him." And she goes, "Isn't that kidnapping?" And he goes, "No, I'm talking to him." And she's like, "Well, did you have his permission to speak with him?" "No." "Did you have permission to be there?" "No." And she's just like, "Well, then why were you there? You weren't asked for, you weren't needed, nobody called on you." And he goes, "Because people were going to die. I'm not just going to stand around and just have these people die and then just be like, oh, well, I wasn't there. I wasn't supposed to be there, so that's not my job." No, as a superhuman, that is your job. If you are a superhuman and you know how to fix something, you fix it, whether people like it or not. And so this banter between them back and forth is just so well done. Absolutely fantastic. And they get into this argument of, oh, we probably shouldn't be doing this. Like, this just isn't working. And Lois Lane lets out this line I thought was so well delivered. And she goes, "You know I wasn't good at this." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Relationships." And I thought that that's where it hit like, oh, shoot. We're about to see Superman deal with a breakup. Like, oh my goodness, he's about to go through pain. He's about to go through suffering. We saw him get his butt kicked in the beginning of the movie. And now we're going to see him go through a mental breakdown. And I think that's one of the coolest things that we've never seen about Superman, is that he deals with real human things. Like being a super metahuman and also trying to keep your identity, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do. Like I know anything about that. But it is such a well thought out thing to think about of, these metahumans, they have special abilities, but do they have feelings? Do they have pain? Do they experience suffering? And yes, they do. I mean, you go and you see out throughout the movie, Superman gets his butt handed to him multiple times. And he deals with it in different ways of like, how am I going to get out of this? How do I just learn from this and go through this pain and learn to be a human? And I thought that was an excellent job. The way that Lex Luthor absolutely plays in this role is fantastic. We always just see him kind of just show up and he's like, I've got kryptonite. And I guess it works. But in this movie, it just works well. The way that he's like, I'm envied by Superman. He does not belong here. And I want to break him down. I want to break him down first, and then I'll kill him. And we see that Superman, sees these different conflicts in the world. He's got to pick and choose which one he goes after. And ultimately, he goes after the one that Lex Luthor wants him to go after. And it is such a well done, just overall well done story, well done acting, well done music. Oh my goodness, can we talk about the music for a second? Oh my goodness. That theme, whenever it hits hard. And I know it's based off of the John Williams Superman theme, but my goodness, the way that James Gunn does this theme is so good. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved it. There's not a lot of music in this movie other than the Superman theme that he has, which, I mean, I guess we'll just get straight into the negatives that I didn't like. With the music, there was not a lot of music, but the theme that they use is so good. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that they could have used a little bit more music in the movie, which would have made the movie just a little bit more, give that oomph to it. The side characters, Hawk Girl, the engineer who have no idea what her character is other than she can make things out of microbots from Big Hero 6, which already gives me like vibes. Ultraman, they could have done way more with Ultraman. I feel like he could have been a really cool battle for Superman, and then it just turned out to be a clone. That's kind of lame. I think we've seen the clone thing be done over and over again. If you wanted to do the clone thing, we could have had like a Bizarro story, which would have been like, Lex Luthor hires Bizarro to kill Superman, and he's telling all these bad things that Superman's doing and all these other things. And it would have been such a, like, I think it would have been great if we would have just had one villain, like, between Lex Luthor and Superman, rather than Superman versus Ultraman and the Engineer and Lex Luthor and the world. It just it fit. But with the way that Lex Luthor was done, I can bypass it, sort of, I guess. I'd have to see it a second time. I'll probably go see it a second time again today. But overall, the side characters were not really that interesting. I can't remember a single one of their names. Lex Luthor's girlfriend, I guess, she was annoying, but that was her character, and it was super funny to see the way that she acted with that one reporter in the movie. And it was such a unique twist to give this one reporter that is talking about everything, and he's like, "Oh, I really need my information, and I really don't want to go out with you, but like I have to in order for us to even do anything." And I thought that that was a good presentation, but I do not remember his name, and I probably won't ever remember his name. The the second act of this movie, where we just constantly see Superman getting his butt kicked over and over, and he's just wondering, like, man, I don't know how to stop this, and he just makes a fool of himself on TV and everything. Just, it didn't really impress me. This whole story about, like, trying to flip Superman on his head is a good storyline of Metahuman and how they deal with that. But the way that he goes about it and just constantly gets his butt kicked over and over and over, I wasn't a big fan of it. There was definitely some plot holes, but I'd have to remember. I don't remember exactly what they are. I remember in the theater when I was watching them. This is like, I think like 12 hours after watching it. So there were definitely some major plot holes in the movie that I have to rewatch and see if I can find them, and maybe if I can see if I can fix them. But overall, just the first screening of this movie, there were some problems with the movie, like, you know, this dynamic between Lois Lane and Superman. Are they gonna break up? Are they not? Is she gonna, you know, go for this other guy? Or is she gonna focus on herself and be like, hey, we're both two different lives. We don't know how this works. We need to separate. And then they finally, like, okay, this is how it's supposed to work. Like something along the lines of that. Dealing with mental and physical pain would have been a lot better, in my opinion. But overall, the movie was great. I thought it was a fantastic way to start off the DCEU. Now, to start off with the one thing that I absolutely hated about this movie, and I will always hate about this movie, is the post and mid-credit scenes. My gosh, were they so bad. Ugh. Like, the first mid-credit scene I missed because I had to pee, but I was told that it was just Superman and his dog sitting up on top of the moon looking at the Earth. And then it cuts to black. Okay, I mean, I guess, one funny mid-credit scene, okay, whatever, that's fine. But that could have been like the end of the movie, where like Krypto and Superman like fly up and go sit up on the moon, and that's the end. That's the end scene. And then we get a end credit scene of like what was the post credit scene, which is Superman and Mr. Terrific looking at this building, and it's a little it's a little uneven, and he goes, I don't know if that's fixed. And Terrific throws a temper tantrum. He's like, dude, I'm done. Like, I can't ever please you. And he's like, sorry for bringing it up. My bad. And then it just cuts to black. I did not appreciate that at all. I think that that was a waste of my time to sit through 7 minutes of cutscenes oh my gosh. I think it was generally just a waste of my time to sit through the credits and just to see that. I feel like we could have got something a little bit more like impactful to I feel like we could have got a little bit more impactful on the DCEU. Bring in somebody to, you know, give us a little hint of who's gonna be Batman, who's gonna be Green Lantern, what is Superman's next best thing, what's he gonna do, what are Lois and Superman thinking about, something along the lines of that, to keep people like, oh my goodness, what is happening? Who is that? And that would have been interesting. I think that they could have. What my dream post credit scene would have been is, Superman's walking down and he's trying to, like, he's talking with his friends and he's like, maybe we should change the name. Let's change it to Justice League. And they're starting to form the Justice League. And Bruce Wayne pops out and it's Robert Pattinson's Batman. I would have flipped my lid if they would have added Robert Pattinson's Batman in. But obviously that can't happen because they're in two different universes. But that would have been cool to see, of, like, being like, oh my goodness, like, we've got our Batman. This is great. This is going to be awesome. But we got two mid post-credit scenes, and they were just not that great. But all in all, to say, this movie was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And I think that we're in a great direction with James Gunn and the way that he's done this. I really enjoyed the way that he did Suicide Squad. I think he did the Suicide Squad with the newest Suicide Squad that came out in, I believe, 2021, I think it was. I think he did an excellent job with that film. And I think he did an excellent job with this film as well. So, to all this to say, what is my rating on this film? Well, I give Superman 2025 with David Cornsett an 8 out of 10. I think just the way that it is done, the way that it was produced, the way that the story was told was fantastic. And I think that they did an excellent job. I like the way that this direction is going. There's little things that they can clean up, but overall, I think we can safely say that the DC universe is back. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, oh my gosh, John Cena's in the movie as Peacemaker, and my theater flipped their lid. Absolutely amazing. That was another thing that I liked, was the cameos of John Cena and Starro was absolutely insane. I loved it. But I give this movie an 8 out of 10, and I highly recommend everybody go out and watch this movie. Give this movie your $9. I think it's worth it. Even if you aren't a Superman fan or a DC fan, or you're a Marvel hater or a DC hater, I highly suggest that you go out and give this movie a watch. I think it's definitely one of my favorite movies of the summer. And that's my review of Superman 2025. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like on this video. Subscribe down below. It tells me exactly what you guys want to see in my videos and everything like that. Also, comment down below what you hated about my review, what you liked about my review, and what do you want to see more from my channel. Just like in reviews, what movies I should go see, what video games I should play, what should I talk about, just different things like that. And I'll read all those comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, gamers.